And that's the beauty of snorkeling and freediving, because once you start feeling comfortable with snorkeling, you start knowing what it is to free dive as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't need anything else. That is important, though. We want to always make sure people always bring a friend, never go alone.
So why do you think diving, after out of all the kind of sports and activities that you could be doing, why do you think it gives you this deep sense of relaxation, of it's almost like your place to be? What do you think draws you to it?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just how quiet it is underwater. If you think about like the chaotic world we live in, I mean, the amount of buses that pass by during this podcast, like you just hear so much in the outside world. Everyone's always texting you, or you're always scrolling down through Instagram or TikTok when you're bored, or you
Yep.
have the Netflix on in the background or music in the background. And you're always constantly thinking. That's when you're outside of the water, at least for me. Then when I'm in the water, I can't bring any of these gadgets with me. I don't hear anyone. It's just me in the ocean. Isa can't even talk to me when we're diving down. It's just absolute, like a sense of mindfulness and just being you and the ocean. And if you happen to see a turtle or an eagle ray or a shark, you just feel that appreciation of like, wow, this world is so big underwater. And like,
Mm.
it, as sad as it is, like it's dying, but you're also appreciating how beautiful it is. So it just gives you a completely different perspective into life and the world, like also holding your breath, like allowing yourself to feel comfortable underwater and leave the stresses of the outside world behind. So I think that's why I'm like so addicted to being in the water. If I have a bad day, I'm like, I want to get in the water today. And I get out of the water and I leave those stresses behind, because it kind of opens your eyes that there's more to life than these stresses that are causing you stress.
And I think the reason why, in addition to the ocean being so amazing, it's you cannot dive if you're not relaxed, especially when it comes to depth or holding your breath for a little bit longer. Impossible. It's all about relaxation. It's all about your mind. Of course, you have to have the technique as well and the skills, but
Yeah.
you can't use that technique or those skills unless you're relaxed. For example, with depth, there comes problems like squeezes. So your lungs can squeeze, your throat can squeeze, and that's very dangerous. You can cough up blood after, you have to go to the hospital. That's where diving gets dangerous, but for beginners, you don't have to worry about that. You can't go in that deep anyways, that you could hurt yourself in that way. But the reason those happen is if the diver is not relaxed. So before you dive, during your dive, you have to be relaxed. You have to have that 2 3 minutes of just complete relaxation. And I can't meditate or anything. I'm not really good at just stopping myself like that out of
Same
the
with me.
water. Yeah, when I'm in the water, I get that complete 100% relaxation. So yeah, that's why it's so addicting.
I love that. Maybe that's what should be the next stress buster workshop that we send people. It's like go free diving, never, as your team bonding. It's I love that,
Seriously.
because usually with people I'm asking like, what's your relaxation thing away from their training or the sport or their industry, and I love how yours is actually to relax. I go do my sport.
Yeah.
So, that's, so what would you do? You have like recovery, it sounds so clinical now, but do you have recovery protocols? Do you have ways that you kind of relax out of the water or recover from your dives? Are you getting scraped through going through coral?